the recording, and I'm going to start the training just now. So, okay, so last time when we met, we discussed, we did our unit 5, and we looked at how we can keep records, and we also looked at how we can do income and expense log at the point of sale. So we discussed this, and we talked about the importance of doing these things, and also we talked about how to make an income and expense log, which is a record of our day-to-day activities in the business. When we get money, we need to define how we got that money, and who was it from, and what was it for. And when we also pay money out, we need to explain by writing and keeping a record of who we gave the money to and what it was for. So basically, that's what the record keeping that we are talking about is here. And in this case, when we are talking about the money that comes in and the money that goes out, that's when we are recording the income and expense log. And we also talked about how to create an income statement. So those, if you still remember, we mentioned that income statement comes from your income and expense log. So whatever figures that are in the income and expense log, they will be summarized in your income statement. Okay, so we also mentioned the importance of avoiding selling on credit. So we don't need to sell our goods on credit. Okay, because usually selling on credits it causes a lot of problems for the business, and it actually eventually cause the business to collapse. So you don't want to lose the business that you have started because you want to be generous. You want to be too generous with people. Okay, so we just need to understand that a business is a business. When we are running a business, it has got nothing to do with relations or maybe friendships and things like that. A business is something, it's a creature that actually lives on its own. So if we burden it with credits, it will die. So we don't want to burden it with credits because we'll kill it. Okay, so we don't want to kill our business because we want to be nice to people. Okay, and today we are going to look at a business budget. So this is paperwork, which is another P, and we're going to look at paperwork in terms of business budget. So we've looked at home budget, which is our personal budget, and we looked at how when we receive income, how we should break down the money, and we plan on how we are going to use that money. So that's a home budget or personal budget. So there is a difference between a business budget and a home budget. In our home budget, we focus on things like the groceries or maybe the food. We focus on school fees. We focus on maybe the utility bills and all those kind of stuff. Maybe we focus on education and all those kind of stuff. That's our home budget, which is our personal budget. But when you're discussing a business budget, we are talking about things like when we buy items for our business, those are the business. When we pay salaries, that's a business budget. We want to plan on how much we are going to pay ourselves and all those kind of stuff. And that is a business a budget. So you don't need to mix items from your personal budget and put them on your business budget. Okay, so that shows some kind of confusion if we do that, and it causes a lot of confusion on even those who mark your projects. So there has to be a distinction between your home items and your business items. So those things that you buy at home, they should not appear on your business budget. Okay, so business budget is specifically for business. So in this case, we are going to review your income statement. I don't know if you've had a chance to make your income statement. I know, Japhet, you were in the other class. Did you Were you with us the last time? Japhet? Okay. I don't know if Japhet can hear me. Is it Ayariga? Is that how you pronounce
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Were you in the last class? Were you in the last class when you talked about the income and expense log and also income statements? Ayariga, were you there?
Oh,
Did you say yes?
unfortunately, I was. No, please, I wasn't.
Oh, all right.
No, please, I wasn't part of.
Okay. I'm sorry for that. So what we discussed last time was how to make an income and expense log. So we shared an income and expense log that was for Carl. Carl had a trimming business, a tree trimming business where he was trimming trees for people and he was getting paid for that. And he was actually using a chainsaw to do that. So in his tree trimming business, we talked about his income and expense log. And in his income and expense log, we looked at that. Let me just see if I can get there so quickly. In his income and expense log, okay, I'm going to look at it from here. So you can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, thank you so much. So in this case, we are saying this is Carl's income and expense log. It was for March. So it's written from 1 March to 31 March. So in your income statement, these are the items that should be seen. Okay. So the first thing that you should be able to see is which month this was recorded. Okay. So you need to specify which month you've done this. And the first item on the board is your starting cash balance. So this money could be in your safe or you could have it in your hands as cash. But this is the money that was left when you closed the month of February. When Carl closed the month of February, the money was left with after he paid everything that he was supposed to pay was the money that we are looking at. So that was his starting cash balance. Okay. So his starting cash balance, if you look at his income and expense log, you would then see that at the end of the month of March, his ending cash balance is 1,400, which automatically means this is going to be his starting cash balance for April. Okay, so your ending cash balance for the month is automatically the starting cash balance for the other month. So there should not be any kind of confusion on that. The money that you start with should also be the money that you would end. The money that you finish a month with is the money that you should also start another month with. Okay, so I hope that is clear and we can all understand that. Okay, so I'm trying to record the meeting that was I just conducted a few minutes ago. So in Carl's business, okay, there is a date on when these things happen. Okay, so you record the date of when things happened, and you also record on the description of what exactly happened. Okay, I hope you can still see my screen here, the log that I'm talking about. Then, yes, Ayarika, can you see that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can see.
All right. Okay, I'm worried because I'm trying to do a lot of things at once. So I might lose the screen for you. So in this case, we are saying that our starting cash balance was 1,500. Okay. And on the 2nd of March, he trimmed Ralph Jones' tree and he was paid 200, which is an income. So you record income. When you get money, you record income at the income category. And when you use money from your business, you record the expense at the expense category. So what you do now, we started with 1,500 and he got 200 more. So you'd see that his balance moves from 1,500. And then you say 1,500 plus 200 and you get 1,700. Okay. And on the 10th, he repaired his truck and he used 100. So he gave away 100 from his but the money that he had. So we are saying that we are now removing 1,700 minus 100, then we get 1,600. And also he paid McGill. Okay, he paid McGill 200. Oh, you paid McGill 500. And we then subtract 1,600 minus 500 and we get 1,100. So wherever there is an expense, we subtract from the balance that we have. And when there's an income, we add into the balance that we have. And we look at that on the 22nd, he also trimmed Brown's Orchard and he was paid 1,000. So he had 1,500 on the 19th and he got also 1,000, which made 2,500. And he bought a chainsaw. So this is an expense. I've got Rita who is trying to join us, but I don't know what's happening. Okay, so he bought a chainsaw for 1,500. So we subtract 2,500 minus 1,500. So then it becomes 1,000. Okay. And on the 30th, there was a word stamp removal. So he removed a stamp. And this, he was paid 400. So from 1,000, he got 1,400. So that becomes his ending cash balance. So there is no need for him to open his safe and start counting the money that he has, because already while he's recording, he actually knows how much he has already. So this helps you that you don't need to open the cash box and see how much money you have. And using the same information, Carl created his income statement. So like I said, an income statement is a balance, is a summary of your income and expense log. So you look wherever he trimmed trees, he then had to add that together. And so he put those figures together. So he just write tree trimming. He does not have to repeat the same thing that he did. And he added this, which is 200 plus 400 plus 1,000. And it gave him 1,600. And when he removed the stamp, he did it once and he was paid 400. So we are now saying 1,600 plus 400, which gives us 2,000. And if you look here where it says income, below income, you would see that we had 200 plus 400, which gives us 600, plus 1,000, which gives us 1,600, plus 400, which then gives us 2,000. So the same 2,000 here is the same 2,000 you should get in your income statement. So we now separate income and expense, the income and the expenses. We don't just put them together like we have done in the income and expense log. So this is where you see the difference between an income and expense log and an income statement. And if you look at the expenses, we have got the truck that he repaired, which cost 1,100, and with the salary that he paid, the wages that he paid McGill, which cost him 500, and the chainsaw supply, it cost him 1,500. And if you calculate 100 plus 500 plus 600 plus 1,500, it would give you 2,100, which is the same 2,100 you would get in the income statement. Now, for you to see whether you've made profit or loss, you then need to subtract income. Okay, you say total income minus total expense. So this is what you just need to do. So the total income you make, you subtract the total expense that you make. And in our case, we realized that Carl used more money than the money he got So he used 2,100, and on the month he got only 500. We only got 2,000. So he made a loss of $100. So that's how you come up with these figures. So the profit or loss for that month is minus 100. And this is how you get this minus 100. You just say 2,000 minus 2,100. Okay. This was a positive value here. If this expense was maybe 1,900, that means you would have used less money than he got. So on your profit or loss, it will appear as a profit. Okay, so if it is a loss, make sure that you write a minus sign to show that it was a loss that was made. Okay, so that's the income and expense log and the income statement. So I want you to work on this. Okay, I want you to work on this and see how you can actually come up with your income and expense log. If you have a business, use your business figures. And if you don't have a business, come up with some figures. And this is my advice to you. If you want to come up with figures, don't come with figures that would confuse you. Don't come with figures that are big and maybe that have got commas and cents and all that kind of stuff. It becomes difficult for you to add those figures. So just do like what Carl did. He just decided to use hundreds, 200s, 500s, and all that kind of stuff. They are very easy to calculate. And it's because what we're only looking at is how you have understood this, how you have understood this principle of income and expense log and also the income statement. So today we're going to look at that. And also we're going to talk about how to plan your business budget. And we're also going to discuss how you can make your business to guide your future. So your business budget should be able to guide your future. All right. So I don't know if you can see this picture. Can you see this picture here?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. What is going on in the picture? What's happening? Ariga, what's happening?
Yes, I saw 3 men on the ship.
Yes.
And it is sinking. Half the other side is sinking.
Yes. So there's waves. There's a very serious waves that are threatening to actually sink these people into the sea. So you have got a sea in Ghana, and I'm sure most of you have been to the sea to actually maybe. I was in Cape Town for about 5 years. In Zimbabwe, it's a landlocked country. We don't have any sea. So when we want to see the sea, you might have to go to Mozambique or to Zambia, or you might need to go to South Africa. But in the sea, if you are in the middle of the sea, can you tell which way is home? If you don't have a compass, if you don't have anything, can you tell which direction is home? Jafet, can you hear us? Is it easy to tell when you're in the middle of the sea and you are probably in a boat? Is it easy to tell the direction of maybe where home is if you don't have a compass? Is it easy? Ayariga?
No, it's not easy at all, unless you have a compass.
Yes, thank you so much. So you definitely need a compass, which is a guide or maybe a direction that gives you. So in the picture there, you can see that there is a light. You see that light there?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So these men are heading towards that light because that light is giving them direction on where they should go. Okay. So they would know which way to go because they will look at that light and they will follow the direction of that tower. So without that tower, these men will be lost. in the sea. Okay, so if you look in this picture, it actually helps us to understand that our business is sometimes like this boat, which is in the middle of the sea. Okay, if we do not have a tower that would help us to know where we are supposed to go, then we would get lost and would be completely lost. Okay. So running a business is more like sailing a boat. It's actually very, very important that you need to know your destination before you start sailing. Okay. So when you sail, you need to know where you are, where you want to go. Okay. So the same applies with our businesses. If you're running a business, you need to know which direction your business is going. Is it going backwards or is it going forward? Okay. And sometimes we might think that your business is doing very well when your business is actually going backwards. So it's very, very, very important in business to be able to understand which direction your business is. Okay. So we all hear of weather forecast. Sometimes we are told that there is going to be a cyclone, there's going to be terrible rain and all that kind of stuff. So that is very, very important for you to be able to plan your day with that in mind. So you find that there are those people from the meteorological station, they always tell us the weather forecast, that tomorrow is going to be rainy, or tomorrow is going to be sunny, and tomorrow is going to be like that. So it helps you when you want to travel to know that I might need to carry a jacket. I might need to carry an umbrella. Okay. Because if you don't do that, you are going to be caught unaware and you're not going to have a pleasant day. Okay. So it's always very important for us to have a lighthouse at the end of the shore. When you are traveling, okay, we talked about Daniel. I think we discussed Daniel in our unit 4 when we talked about how, okay, we discussed this Daniel in unit 5 when we were looking at how Daniel was just running a carpenter business without recording anything. Okay, so we have got Daniel's income statement here. Okay, so Daniel's income statement is for the month of June. So from 1 to 31. So this is what he did. In the month of June, he made some dining tables and chairs, and they gave him 4,350. Okay. And he also made some bookcases, and he got $500. And he normally makes a bed and headboard. But this month he didn't make it. So we learned that he didn't get any money. So, but this is his total income for the month of June. So if you say 4,350 plus 500, we get 4,850. So that's his total income for the month of June. And in the same month, he used 2,700 to buy wood, and he also used 680 for transport. And he used 1,300 for salaries, and he also bought glue, varnish, and sandpaper, which costed him $150. So his total expense for the month of June is 4,830. So if we say total income minus total expense, okay, like I said, this is how you calculate the profit or loss. You say total income minus total expense. And in our case, he had a positive of $20. So he made profit for the month of June. And his profit is 20. And how do we get this 20? Like I said, we say total income minus total expense. Okay. Total income minus total expense, and we get the profit for the month of June. Okay. So from that diagram, we can tell that Daniel made a profit of $20. And his biggest expense was wood, which he bought for 2,700. Okay. We also learned that Daniel did not sell any beds or headboards for the month of June. So this is very important for your business to understand. So you would find that Daniel will not need to make any beds or headboards for the month of July because he already made some and he did not get any money from them. Okay. Now, we discussed this as the 3 months income statement. Okay. The 3 months income statement helps Daniel to know how his business is doing. So we've got June, and we've got July, and we've got August. Okay. So if you look at June, July, and August, so this is the June that we have already discussed. Okay. And if you look at June, we discover that at the end of June, John made a profit of $20. And in July, his profit was $308. And in August, his profit was $250. So from there, we can see that John's profits are not really stagnant. They are moving up and down and up and down. Okay. So if John is to plan to get a loan, okay, let's say he wants to go to the bank and he wants to get a loan from the bank, John will know that my business, so far, the highest amount I've gotten for my business is $308. Okay. So he will not get a loan for $400. That will need him to pay $400 a month because he knows that his business might not make that profit per month. So this gives you a guide that if you want to get a profit, if you want to get a loan, how much money do you need and how much money do you need to pay per month and how much money are you making? So you'd find that Ayariga, if you go to your bank in Ghana and say, I want to get a loan of 50,000, they'll ask you to bring your income, they call it a cash flow projection. They'll ask you to give them a cash flow projection, or they would say, give us your income statements for the past 6 months. Okay, so you give them the income statements for the past 6 months, and they look at the profits that you are making for the past 6 months. And they'll say, okay, if we give you a loan for 5,000, for 50,000, we want you to pay maybe 5,000 every month. And they say that your business is not making $500 per month. They would say, no, we cannot give you the loan. Okay, because they know that your business cannot afford that kind of money. That's why then you complain and say, these banks, they don't want to give us money. They don't want to loan us some money. It's not that they don't want. They look at your income statements and they look and see, oh, you are not making enough money for us to give you such an amount. So if they are generous, they would advise you to say, instead of you getting a 50,000 loan, why don't you get a 5,000 loan? And they know that if they say that we want $200, you pay an installment of $200 per month, you will be able to afford that. So in this case, you can say that you add these three profits for the 3 months, and you find the average for these 3 months. And that average will be a guide for you to say that if I get a loan for this amount, I can actually pay it back if I am paying maybe $150 a month. I'll give you an example. Someone just sent a message. Is that you? Okay. Thank you. So this is why you find that if you go to the bank, most of the banks, even here in Zimbabwe, and this issue now is with racism and things like that, People then tend to say that the banks don't give blacks money. But I had a brother who worked in the bank for 20 years, and he was telling me this. If you look at white people, we used to have white farmers in Zimbabwe. They would come and they would have maybe an annual income statement for 12 months, that this is what my business has been doing. This is how much I have been making, and I want a loan for this amount. And they can look at it and see, oh, this farmer is making a lot of money with his farm, and we can actually afford to give him this money because he can be able to pay us back. They don't want a situation whereby they end up fighting with you because you didn't pay them their money. They try by all means to avoid such kind of situations. So they make sure that they look at your incomes. Okay, they look at your finances and they see that, oh, okay. So it says here, just like your personal budget, you start writing a business budget by planning what you will earn and spend in your business. Most businesses prepare a 12-month annual business budget. To receive your MBS certificate, you will need to turn in a 4-month business budget with a cash projection. So what you need to do for you to receive a certificate, an MBA certificate, we don't want you to prepare a 12 months budget. Okay, we only want to write an income statement for just 4 months. Okay, so I want you to look closely while I'm discussing this. This is very, very important. Okay. Do you see the ending cash balance for the month of June? Okay, so we've got total income and we've got the total income and total expense. So in our case here, we are going to discuss on how you can then make, because we need to know at the end of the month how much he is actually making. Okay, so but if you look at his table here, okay, his dining tables and chairs, if you look at the figures, okay, for June it's 4,350, and for July it's 4,408, and for August it's 4,300. So that's the average. So if you are making your own 4 months income statements, you don't want a situation whereby in June you tell us that you saw tables and chairs for 200, and in July you sold for 10,000. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. There is no business that grows like that. So a business usually grows steadily, and if you come up with such figures, then it becomes a problem for us to understand how you are coming up with your figures. Okay. It says here, you need to use the past. Okay, so you need to plan for your business budget. So income statements to project his profit and cash balance helps Daniel plan his business budget. So it says at the beginning of September, Daniel started wondering if it would be profitable to make wooden toys for Christmas. He thought the toys would sell well, but he would need to hire an employee because he already had furniture orders and he had to get done. The new toys for Christmas would have to be made in October and November to be ready for Christmas. Daniel wondered if he would afford to hire an employee to help finish furniture orders and his toys. In order to decide what to do, Daniel reviews his income statements up to August and then projects or estimates his income or expense for September, October, November, and December. So we call this a cash flow projection. So you can project that my business is making probably $100 per month, or maybe it's 100 per month. So in the next, if I'm making 100 per month, in the next 12 months, I am going to make 1,200. Okay. So even if you are planning to buy a car, You are saying, I need a car that costs maybe 5,000 and my business is making 500, which means you are saying that I'm making a profit of 500 after all the expenses are covered. I'm making a profit of 500, which means you are saying that I can be able to afford to buy my car in the next 10 months. So this is why cash flow projection will then help you to be able to understand how healthy your business is. And if you look now, we have Daniel projected business budget without toys. Okay, so we are saying he is now looking at how it's going to be like without toys. If I don't make toys, okay. If I don't make toys, how is my business going to be? Okay. So in this case, there's something that I want you to look very closely. Okay. Here at the bottom, okay, we were talking about profit or loss. So okay, we talked about $250, $50, $150. Okay. But what I want us to look is there is opening cash balance. Okay. Do you see the opening cash balance for Daniel? Ayariga?
Yes.
Okay. So his opening cash balance for August. Now we are starting from August. Okay. If you look at his opening cash balance for August, it's 328. That's his opening cash balance. And he made a profit of 250. So if you say 328 plus 250, you are going to get 578. That's going to be his ending cash balance or closing cash balance. This closing cash balance is going to come from the sales that he did during the course of the month. Okay, so we look here, his total income was 5,100 and his total expense was 4,850. Okay, so in that order, we then realize that at the end of the month, at the end of the month, by the end of the month, he finished the month with 578. This is what I want you to pay attention to. Your closing cash balance for the month of August should be your opening cash balance for the month of September. Do you see that? Eric? Do you see that he finished the month with 578, and that same 578 becomes his opening cash balance for September. Then we notice that in September, he made a profit of $50. So you are just saying 578 plus 50, and you get 628, which is his closing cash balance. And this closing cash balance also becomes his opening cash balance for the month of October. Okay. So in October, he started with 628 and he made a profit of 150. So if you say 628 plus 150, you're going to get 778. Once you get 778, that's also his starting cash balance for the month of November. Okay, so in the month of November, Rita, I'm really sorry for the internet challenges you are having. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but we're saying that in the month of November, he starts the month with 778 and he made a profit of 250. So you see where these figures are, he's getting the figures. The profit or loss is just on top here. So he just takes that profit, but where he gets this starting opening cash balance, he get it from this ending cash balance or the closing cash balance for the month before, and he uses it as the opening cash balance. And he takes the profit or loss and he adds that. So it's 778 plus 250, and we get 1,028. So 1,028, that's again his starting cash balance for the month of December. But in the month of December, we realized that he made a loss of $50. So we are saying 1,028 minus 50, you then get 978. And that's the same 978 he's going to use as a starting cash balance for January. And for January, he also made a profit of 700. So at the end of January, he's got 1,678. So this helps you to understand how your business is going. Okay. So if as long as you work on this now, you can tell. If in our case, you can see that Rita, well, Daniel can tell that in the next 6 months, okay, he's going to have 1,678. So roughly, he's projecting using the figures that he got from the month of June and July, and then from on the month of August. So you can use this as a cash flow projection to tell you how your business is actually doing. And this would also help you. So like I was explaining to you, what is very, very important are these three sections: the opening cash balance, the profit or loss, and the closing cash balance. So you see that the opening cash balance and the closing cash balance, you get the closing cash balance from adding the opening cash balance plus the profit or loss. So what also I said is that this ending cash balance should be the starting cash balance for the following month. And as you can see, that's exactly what he was doing here. So 628 and 628, 778, 778, 1,028, 1,028, 978, 978. So the only difference comes with how much you have made or how much you have lost for the month. So you then add your starting cash balance or your opening cash balance to that, and you get yourself your closing cash balance. Okay. So this is another one that he made now with the toys. Okay. In the first one, he did that without the toys. And in this one, he made that with the toys. So if you look, there's a difference here. Okay. There's a difference now, the salary. Okay. The salary is gone up and all those kind of stuff. Okay. So he employed someone and he started paying that person, because this is August, September, and this is October. So he started paying the person in October, and the person's salary was $500. Okay. Rita, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I'm sorry with the challenges you're having with the internet. I see you going in and out, in and out.
Yeah, it's disturbing me, Pa.
I'm really sorry for that. But anyway, I'm recording the training, the meeting, so that you can be able to access it after that. So we're looking at, yes. So we are looking at Daniel. He has got a wooden business. Daniel is a carpenter, and in his carpentry business, he was thinking of employing someone so that he wanted to make toys for Christmas, children's toys for Christmas.
Okay.
Yes, and when he made those toys now, it meant that he had to employ someone. He had to employ someone, and that someone he had to employ, he had to pay him a salary. So you see that we said that in September. So he started paying the person in October. So in October, he paid 500. So if you look now, his figures are going to be affected because he is paying someone. But the good thing is that by the end of 6 months, if he employs somebody, he will make more money than if he does not employ someone. So if we look back where we are looking, but this is not happening in Rio. He is just projecting, he is planning. So he's planning that if I just work without an employee, without making the toys, at the end of 6 months, I will have 1,678. But if I employ someone and I make toys for December, by the end of 6 months, I will have 4,178.
Okay.
If you're running a business, you would then see that, oh, this is good for my business. I might, because sometimes it's really necessary to use money so that you can actually make more money. You don't really need to be scared of actually using money, because that's the only way the business can grow. Your business will not grow if you don't make some investment or you put some money into it. So the business will only grow when you make some investment and you put some money into it. So we also need to look at how you can make a business budget to guide your future. Okay, so this is Daniel now. So he's made a business budget that is guiding his future. And we learn that if he employs somebody, Daniel is going to make more money than he would make if he does not employ someone. So it's necessary and
Okay.
very important that you really consider this. But like I'm saying here, this is just a planning. This is planning. Daniel is looking at not doing this in real. This is not the real figures, but he is planning that if I do this, I can make. And your plans, they have to be realistic. They have to be really, really realistic. If you don't plan, if you don't make some realistic plans, then you are going to have some challenges. Because an employee salary is a fixed cost. Okay, you will have to pay, Daniel will have to pay his employee his salary, whether he makes profit or he does not make profit. You will definitely have to employ that, to pay that person is $500. So if you don't plan well, you would actually sink your business by paying salaries to people that you would then employ. So you need to be very, very careful, okay? And what we also want you to do in your business or the business that you are planning to do, we want you to come up with your own business budget. Okay? So you are going to, so this is how you write the income, the cash flow projection this is only for 4 months. Okay, like I said, you're only going to work on 4 months and you're not going to work on all this 12 months or 6 months. So you're going to tell us which month. We're going to come up with which months you want to work on. So if you are going to start in July, you say July, August, September, and then October. And you tell us, if you are going to write an income, you tell us what brought the income. If it is sales, you tell us the sales. Okay. If it's the shoes that you have sold, you tell us what you did to get that money. Okay. And I want you to fill in the plan section only. You are not going to fill the actual, you are only going to fill in the plan. Okay. So you're only going to work on the plan section. Don't worry about the actual section. And when you just take the example of Daniel and use that example to fill in your own business budget. And after you fill in this, you need to tell us what are 3 things that you're going to do to make your business profitable. So you need to outline 3 things that you are going to do to make your business profitable. And don't forget to write that. We would need that you fill that part. And what are you going to do to make your business profitable? Okay. And this is actually just a paperwork. So you see here, this guy is working on accounting, and you find this is how he's recording his things, he's recording his incomes, and he's recording his expenses. Okay. So the most important part of it is that you need to be able to plan and to be able to kind of Your plans have to be some kind of realistic. Like I said, you don't need to tell us that you made $50 this month and you made $50,000 next month. It's not realistic. It doesn't make sense. So they have to be some kind of realistic. Okay. So you're only working on your plan. Okay. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to make 4-month business budget for the next before the next meeting. If you don't have a previous records or income and expense, you still need to make a business budget. Start your business budget by putting the amounts you plan to spend and earn for the next 4 months. If you plan to add a product, get a loan, or some other major business decision, make an estimate and project how those options will affect your business. So when you finish your income statement each month, write the results in the actual column. But you are not going to write the results in the actual column. I just want you to write on the planning section. Okay, so don't worry about the actual. Just focus on the plan. And the actual, you are going to do this when you are running your actual business. That's when you then have to focus on the actuals. But for this course, we just want you to focus on the planning part. You just plan how much we are going to do. So you come up with your own figures that you want to highlight on that, and you can just come with any figures that you want. These figures, they should start from your income and expense log. So whatever you are going to put on your income and expense log. Those are the figures you are then going to use to make your first income statement. And your first income statement is going to guide the other 4 income statements. So the income statement that you put on your income statement is the income statement that should appear on the first month on your planning. That's what should be on the first month of your planning. I hope I'm making myself clear. Ayariga. Is that clear, Ayariga? Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me. I'm saying your income statement, in this case, we are looking at Daniel's income statement that he made. And that income statement is the same income statement. If you look at this income statement that he made for June, if you make your income statement for June or for July or for whatever month, the first income statement that you are going to record in your system is the same income statement we would want to see on your cash flow projection, okay, or your business budget. So here, that's the same income. Those are the same figures we just want to see here. Fortunately, I'm now on my own. But anyway, I'll close this meeting for now, and I hope you'll be able to look at what we have discussed and maybe just go through this video so that it can help you. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to come and we can discuss those questions. Our next unit will be Unit 7, where we'll be discussing on how to price your product. Okay, so we're going to talk about the cost of your product or service. And we're also going to talk about reduced expenses. We're going to look at increased prices. And we'll also discuss increased profit and sales by adding value. We're going to talk about what is adding value. And lastly, we are going to look at how to make more than you need to have more than one supplier in your business. Okay. So a business to be successful, it needs more than one supplier. Okay, so we've come to the end of our class today, and I'll be meeting with you on Tuesday. We will be able to look at Unit 7, and we'll be talking about the price. Okay. Okay. Like I said, we're actually moving very well. We are moving within the time that we had actually planned to move. So thank you so much, Ayariga, for attending this class. And I want to apologize on behalf of those who have had some challenges coming in and being booted out by the internet. But thank you so much. I hope you have learned something from today's lesson. If you didn't understand any other parts, I'm going to upload this. I'm going to submit it on our WhatsApp platform. You can go through it, and if you have got any questions, we can still, when we meet, you can then ask me those questions, or you can use the WhatsApp platform to ask those questions. You can either go to my inbox, or you can just ask on the platform, and we can discuss these questions. Thank you so much, and good night. And good night to you, Ayariga. Thank you so much for your patience and for your resilience. Okay.
Thank you.
You're very resilient. You didn't want to go. So thank you so much for that.
All right, thank you.
All right. So let's meet on Tuesday, and good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you so